Hey, and welcome to Sisters in Lit and Life, where we discuss the lit we read and life. I'm Layla.
I'm Rayn.
Trina.
Whitney.
Shannon.
All right, this week was
It, it was
My
Trina's
pick.
pick.
Yeah.
oh, she sure did.
Up
Again,
in Flames.
Up in Flames
Oh,
by Eden Finley and Saxon James.
Yes.
What an interesting book here.
Well, let's get that recap there. Go ahead, Trina. Recap it for us.
You got the flow.
Dang. I don't like doing this part, so y'all up here laughing. But we have Eden. Is his name Eden? Yeah, no. Let me
No,
take that back.
absolutely
Edmund
not.
and Remy.
Remy.
They was on their way to get married. And Edmund here had got cold feet and bounce, basically. So Edmund's best friend, Sedman, guess have the job to tell old boy, which is Remy, that hey, Edmund bounced out, and y'all not getting married today, basically. And so they both hooked up and end up oh, I was not gonna say that. So they both hooked up and they end up being a couple. And Eamon found out about it and he had a fit and trying to flip the script and make everybody, feel sorry for him and everything else, but it
He
didn't
was
work.
crazy.
Yeah, so it was very interesting. It was a hot mess. And they had a lot of sex, but I ain't gonna talk about that.
A lot of sex.
Did it have a lot?
It had a lot of sex.
They had a lot of sex.
They
They was
had, like,
fucking
6 scenes, maybe, right? 6.
yeah.
That's a good bit.
Oh, I guess in comparison to some of these other books, it wasn't a lot.
It wasn't a lot. It was just like regular.
It was very
It like they were
interesting.
getting
A lot
in
of hands.
every chance they could.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of hands going in places that
They only had sex like 4 times, 5 times.
Whenever they was together, they was pumping.
touching each
Yeah.
other. Always like touchy feely.
they were just getting it, just like this, the whole time.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
The whole time. And
I
then,
blocked it
yeah,
out.
I didn't because I was up at night and I was like, oh my goodness, I can't go to sleep now.
Okay. Okay.
So this was our very first MM Sapphic pick for our channel. I generally read a lot of MMs already mixing together, so it wasn't really a shock to me. But I think it was to Trina.
Yeah.
And probably to Layla.
Layla, did you finish the book? I didn't think he was gonna finish it, to be honest.
I mean, after looking at the whole big picture, I mean, it was a hot mess. Yes, it was some drama, but damn, because
I
I'm
liked
thinking,
it. I don't care. I liked it.
because I feel like this, the best friend already felt some type of way with Remy. I just think they already liked each other before,
Yeah, they had a crush on
What's his name?
Sandman? That's what I call
Sandon. No, it's Sandon.
It's Sandon? Okay.
Yeah,
Sandon. Okay.
Sandon.
Sandon liked Remy
Sanden. Yeah, Sandon.
from the very beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah. Before he even met Iman, he was already feeling him.
He was wishing that he didn't really introduce them. Because basically he introduced them.
I should have listened to it. I should have read this.
No, you shouldn't. But go ahead, whatever y'all was talking about.
I would say maybe that would have made it better because I can understand a plot and storyline and character development. Like I get that. Even though I feel like Remy's fiance was delusional and off his rocker,
control freak,
and a spoiled brat. And I think, Lord, I'm not trying to put nobody in a box. I want to choose my words carefully.
Why? Well,
Think you're
I mean, I can
mad.
understand, but I can't understand. But I mean,
Well,
say
I think that with okay, so I guess in any relationship, it could be a person who is just a brat. But I think sometimes you see it like it's stereotypical in some characters when it's whether it's on TV shows or whatever. There's one who's just like, I gotta have my way. It's about me, and I'm conceited, and and it's really over the top with that type of personality. And I couldn't stand that character.
Yeah.
I feel like both of them already had doubt about each other. Remy didn't. He was already had doubt. He was like, I don't know about him. His
But
whole ways was starting to change. So they both had doubt about, getting married. I'm like, why waste the time?
Yeah,
Why waste the time?
I think he was hoping that the maturation would come. Like, okay, he'll mature. He'll think these things will come. And I think
That's naive.
yes, and I think any type of relationship, you can fall into that. Well, I love this person, but I really want this person to do this. Like, I really want them to get better, and it'll come. I hope it'll come. Like, so I don't think that was far fetched. I think it was the audio with some of the scenes, and I was like, oh.
You know what made it hard for me in this book is the audio. I've never listened to an MM audio. There's always a woman. So the voices, I couldn't differentiate. I was like, wait, is that Remy? I couldn't pick out who was who because they sounded the same to me almost. But when they was doing Iman's voice, they made him so whiny and such
he
a
was.
he was
Especially when he did the whole video. The whole
oh
video.
my gosh. It was awful. Well, that jumps into the first. Let me just put the first question out there real quick then. What did you guys think of all the characters, Sandon, Remy, and Iman? Just as in general people, before they started rimming.
I like Remy.
Yeah.
I like Remy. I really did. I mean, I hate that it happened. I mean, of course, if anybody got left on their wedding day, I feel devastated. Anybody would feel devastated, but
yeah.
I like Remy.
What's crazy to me is for Iman though, like you paid for this reception. You paid for it, right?
You paid for the gold. I mean, the honeymoon.
I'm not sitting here and saying I've paid thousands because it's probably because he said it was more than what Remy had wanted. It was like a more of an elaborate wedding and stuff like that, something that Iman would want. I'm not going to waste this money, okay? Because Remy then sat around and had a whole pity party. What's it called? No, a petty party is what Sandon called it.
Mm-hmm.
That's so much money.
Man,
that was a lot of money.
And not even
the
that.
money was
It was like the wedding, the party, and then the honeymoon. Like you paid for all this stuff and not you just.
But it didn't seem like
he
Iman was even in love. Like he didn't seem like he really even wanted to be with him. So why propose? Why do all of that?
But didn't he cheat on him though too?
Yeah, he cheated on him.
He cheated on him. So I don't.
That was funny though. That was crazy. I think
that was like not the comment. That shit was crazy. But you know who my favorite character was?
Who?
I think his name was Gage.
Yeah. Oh, that was his best friend at the fire station, right? Or his work wife or his work husband.
His work husband.
Yeah.
Yeah. Rayn, you quiet.
Super quiet. You are so super quiet and nervous.
What did you think of the characters?
I felt the same about all of them.
What was this feeling?
I mean, I don't feel the same about all of them. The book was.
Go ahead, say it with your chest.
Wait.
No, I mean, it was cool. The book was cool, but I didn't connect with any of the characters, so I was just indifferent about them all. They all were whiny about something or another.
They were
all delusional about something or another. They were all needing some therapy for one reason or another. Like they were all the same to me. But I think as far as the Remy goes, sometimes we try to marry potential, and instead of like Lonnie was saying, like, oh, he ain't really what I want, but I feel like you know, if I be the best mate I can be, then it'll make them come around, and then we'll live happily ever after. So he's gonna go through with it, even though you know this is not the person you want to be with.
Right.
That's stupid. So I just, for me, characters.
I can agree with that too, because I feel like too, to make all of the characters except for Iman firefighters, like they have the same profession essentially. Like one's an EMT firefighter, one's a fire. It's the same, not the same, but the same wheelhouse. And then they both have traumatic backgrounds where they're having to deal with these things, so they both end up needing therapy. So it's like it is very much a very linear character across the board. Because even Iman, if you look at him, he definitely needs therapy. He's a narcissist. He's crazy. He's all about whatever.
Yeah, and then also he was abusive to Remy too.
Yeah,
right.
Like, how
but you're right. Like I didn't even think about it until you said it. That it was basically the same character. They were two people that are the exact same dating. So there was no like, there wasn't even really any push and pull between them. Like I like when I get to my books that are spicy and stuff like that. I like angst. I like banter. I like that back and forth. We were like, I hate you. I love you. I hate you.
Right.
And they didn't have that. They were like, we love you.
They were both giving feminine. All three of them was giving real feminine energy. Yeah. So it wasn't no real life.
It wasn't no dominant.
Whatever. And for them to be firefighters, I was expecting somebody to get rough, you know, to be a little rough.
Rougher.
Even with their words with each other. And I think when
Sandon was a little bit because he was Remy. See, I can't even remember who because I feel like they were so similar, but one of them was a little bit more. You get your ass on this bed.
Sandon or whatever. He was the one that was a little bit more aggressive. Like, although his aggression, he's calling the guy sweetheart. So I mean, how aggressive can you be calling him sweetheart? But I mean, maybe that's your thing. Yeah. But he was a little more, I guess, more of the top versus the bottom, but they still were giving real like very much, all three of them very much feminine. I don't know if y'all watch Station 19. Yeah.
Yes.
The guy, the gay firefighter there on the show, I can't think his name. The one that was just running for senator or congressman or whatever he was just running for on the show.
I think that's probably fire.
Oh no, Station 19, the gay firefighter on Station 19. That's what all three of them was given.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna have to look it up. I just watch one little clip.
Yeah, this is what that was. Like they took that man and just split him in three.
When they tried to make a little I hate you between each other, it was quickly resolved. Like I thought you felt this way. I mean, no, that's not really how I feel. I was like, oh shit.
Yeah. They didn't really have any complications about their actual joining. It was more just their past trauma and dealing with it and not leaning solely on each other to heal, because you can't heal with people who are healing kind of thing. Like you can't be there for someone if you ain't got your shit together.
Right.
Which is extremely realistic because I'm sure that goes on all the time.
And they just try to make it work and it just didn't work. Basically.
Yeah. So how important, what did you think about Remy rethinking the marriage moments before it occurred, and how important it is for him, should it have been for him to follow his gut? Like in just general life, how we should be following our gut more often or just kind of letting things slide?
Not when you see the signs. Like
in that situation, I think he should have just followed his gut for real. In that situation, because
do you think that if he had been the one to call off the wedding, if he had left out, if that had happened, would him and Sandon have eventually gotten together? Because he had already liked him and he was already trying to phase Iman out. Like he was like, "Did you out? I don't even want." How do you end up being his best man and he don't even fool with you like that? First of all,
they probably don't have no friends.
No,
they knew each other.
I thought he was the other guy's best man.
He was Iman's best friend.
Iman's best friend.
But then they really weren't the best of friends.
Right, I'm saying because I thought, wait a minute, hold on. You said who didn't fool with him like that?
Iman and Sandon didn't really fool with each other. They knew each other since from back in the day, but
from high school, because they had an incident.
Phase him out. Like he was like, I wasn't even going to talk to this guy anymore.
Because he slept.
Because he was
with his best friend. I guess with somebody he was messing with in high school.
I thought he made that up. He was lying.
Yeah,
I was thinking that too.
It said something about he or not necessarily lie, but you know how you tell your version of the truth, but you know that ain't the truth.
Right. He lied.
The whole book was a lie for him. So his point.
Yeah.
For sure, he put up a whole show on
he said
Instagram.
He thought something happened, but nothing happened.
Yeah.
With his former boyfriend Kevin.
Yeah.
And then maybe he was the best man because you know they introduced each other, so you know you'd be like, oh, you introduced us. So
yeah, I can see that.
I can kind of.
Which is, but even then, he's saying like, okay, yeah, you introduced me, but he knew that Sandin liked Remy. He knew that they had a little mini crush on him. So then, he swooped in and stole him, and then he wasn't even nice to Remy after that because he was trying to separate himself because he was in love with him. You know what I mean? And then you don't even like. How did he become the best man of this? This man has no friends. That's what it is.
That's what I'm saying.
And I feel like when you don't have friends, like if I'm your best man, you need
right.
to go.
If that's the best you got.
That's the best. I mean, you can.
That means he don't have no friends, and that he's messy, and that's why nobody don't like him, and that's why he just.
You messy.
But people have frenemies all the time. People will smile in your face and do not like you.
But are you gonna make him your best man? Are your best?
Yeah, people do it all the time.
That's crazy.
I know somebody that was in somebody's wedding name. You know you don't like that girl.
That's crazy.
But you just needed a seat filler.
So, what did we think about the relationship between Remy and Sandin, and how does it develop? How it developed through the book? So, did we like that they? I think for me, I didn't like that they hit it off immediately,
so quickly. It was
immediately. It was like, oh, you single, and I'm in there.
Single, like, bitch, did you have any feelings at all for the dude? Like, I know your feelings hurt, but golly.
But then they end up getting married
shit
too.
I probably do.
I'm done. I'm done. I don't care what you're saying.
I just thought it was just so
might be tomorrow.
It was just such an easy.
Well, that's why I thought. Well, I think that they already had a thing before. Like he already liked them. They already liked each other, so it was
they already
easy
liked each other.
It made it easy. It made it easy. When you got this dude over here treating you like shit, and then you got the other dude over here just worshiping the ground and walking, it makes it easy.
Yeah, you're right. So,
baby, I had to the left. Baby, don't think you irreplaceable.
At all.
Tomorrow
we could have a whole lot of years in, and I'd be like, what?
Say less.
Right.
Now it might not be your friend, because that's a little.
Yeah.
We're gonna get to that question. That's the last question. Okay, so everybody knows what's about to happen. Let's talk about sex, baby. How did we do with the MM part of this book? It was new for us as a collective whole. We learn new terminology. I know we learned about rimming in this one. You got to stretch it before you stick it, kind of thing going on.
Not to get the tool.
Got to get all the stuff situated. They did talk about safe sex in this one, so yay. Because they were clean, because they was thinking Iman cheated.
You can't talk about safe sex after you have attached your mouth to someone's butthole. Like, how safe are you gonna be? You already done got whatever it is. Never mind.
After the fact that they had sex, talking about I need to go get tested, like
it already done attached my whole students. Engulfed everything that was in there. Like, what are you talking about?
You can clean it first.
Is that what really is? I thought it was just when you did your finger.
Nah,
he shoved it.
But she said he had his mouth. He had a suction on that thing. Like, bruh. Then you want to talk about let's use it protection. Protect you from what? My mouth is one of the most precious parts of my body. Like, what are we doing?
Now, see, you say that, but when these helpers see these other ones,
they be doing the same thing up in there.
Same things.
Now, I don't care, man.
Like his mouth?
I don't care, man or woman.
Women is the same shit.
Right. I don't care, man or woman. That's nasty.
Absolutely, that's disgusting.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Man and woman and man and man, it doesn't matter.
Was they? Did they?
Please stop. Please, can we make that? Can we just make that known for 2024? Let's go ahead and stop doing that to each other.
Did he get in the shower before they started reading?
No, they didn't talk about no shower or no type of nothing.
No. He had got out. They were at there. This was at the honeymoon. He had just got out of the shower and his towel dropped. So and you can't clean it enough.
Not on every occasion.
Shower.
Not on every occasion.
They probably sprayed water on themselves and probably jumped out.
They did, but also, like I was telling Rayn earlier, I didn't really understand. I didn't really realize that men, when they have sex face to face more often, I thought it was always like from the back shots, the whole time. So I'm like, I didn't even know. I was like looking, I was like in my visualizing this, I was like the whole time no one's facing each other. And I was like, how do you have a deep connection? Like a lot of the FM books that we read, it's like you're looking into each other's eyes and they get that spark, that connection and all that. And I was like, oh, they do that too. I learned something new.
It's a regular relationship.
They be getting back shots in all the books I read.
Well, I can see how a lot of people may think that you have to do it. They have to do it from the back because of position, like where.
I mean,
but all they do is just put them legs up.
Yeah, and apparently just.
I mean, that's what I heard. I don't really know.
Yeah. But I thought that their sexual chemistry obviously was fine. Like but you know what's crazy is like in these books, in the books that they have, every character in like spicy books, you're not average. You're well endowed, right? How am I supposed to walk?
After what?
After you shove this 10-inch dick in my ass.
Maybe. I mean,
they be all right, I guess.
Because
I feel like I'm going to the hospital.
I go to the bathroom.
I need stitches.
So that's why you gotta stretch.
That's why they stretch it though. The scissoring. Every time I scissor, I'm like in my mind.
I grazed right up there. Oh man, I missed all that part.
I was in there detailed. I was like, ooh. Yes. Okay. So let's see, what was the other question I had? Come on now.
Dang.
Trina, stop thinking. Stop thinking. Stop thinking. Because all I see every time I look at you is the wheels in your head turning.
Going. Trina, how did you find this? Okay. Other question. What led you to go the MM route versus the FF route?
Shit, I didn't know what the hell I was looking up. Shit. I didn't know what the hell I was looking up.
Lesson learned. Read the synopsis.
Well, I will say this about it because we are talking about, but the story, had a lot of drama. Of course,
it did.
It was man gets left at the altar, goes on a honeymoon with the
best
man. They hit it off and get in a relationship. You be like, what?
Yeah,
it's scandal.
It is.
And that's why I clicked it. I'm like, okay, this is some drama. Let me go ahead and pick this.
So the story wasn't bad.
I didn't know what the fuck I was looking up. I was like, well, shoot, this seemed like a good book. I'm gonna go ahead and
it wasn't bad.
It wasn't a bad book at all.
I think what was the takeaway was all the sex scenes and all that stuff that was in it. I think that it don't bother me.
I think for me, I think it should have been. I think it should have been longer, so you can get. No. Oh, I think it should have been longer.
I got all the story I needed.
That's all I needed. I got all I needed. That's it.
Honestly, she could have took 50 pages away, and I'd have been okay.
That part, yeah.
Because it was a lot of back and forth.
I feel like
it was just when they got to the point of where they were like, "We're gonna separate." That was my other question. Was it right? Was it a right call for Remy and Sandon to separate? I think when it got to that
from the
part,
very beginning,
it was so annoying. I was like, okay, so I love him. I don't want to be with him right now because I need to work on
that.
And I was just like,
y'all had already done it. Y'all did it already. So what are we separating for? Y'all.
If anything,
I didn't understand why they even threw that in there.
They should have worked on themselves from the very beginning.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, my thing is like you can still work on each other. You can work on yourselves in
during a relationship. Yeah.
And if anything,
but
throw some couple counseling in there too.
They didn't know how to do that. So the best thing was for them to break apart so they could do it separately, because he already had issues with losing himself in a relationship.
Yeah.
And he already had issues with not being forefront about who he was.
That's crazy what happened to his sister, though.
From the very beginning. Yeah.
Yeah.
But y'all was already
Remy? What happened to Remy? I can't remember what happened to Remy. Sandon is the one whose sister died in the fire.
Mm-hmm.
What happened to Remy?
I think his thing was about losing himself in a relationship. And then he had a death. What did he have at work death or something? Like somebody.
I can't remember
somebody. Something with the fires. He lost somebody to a fire. And he
I thought that was Sandon.
He lost Sandon. I thought Sandon was his sister, but I'm saying at work, the Remy lost somebody at work, like a random. No,
I think it was the people that he was helping, because
I think that was all Sandon, because Sandon couldn't let go of all the losses that he had, because he thought he had to make up for all of it by saving lives for his sister. So anytime he had a hard day, it was like he internalized it. Because that's
But what was the situation where somebody lost somebody at work and the other one was like, oh, I gotta go check on him to make sure he's good, and he went over there.
Had to talk to somebody.
Sandon went to Remy. Sandon lost the girl, so Sandon went to Remy to talk to him. But Remy was already going through something, so that was when Remy's cousin was like, "You are coming over here putting all this extra shit on him when he needs to heal." But what was he healing? I can't remember. It wasn't the relationship. It was something. Maybe it was the relationship.
No, it was the relationship. It was the relationship the whole time.
He
was over here trying to find
himself. Because he was abusive to her.
Mm-hmm. He was slowly realizing that he was being abused, even though it wasn't physically, it was verbally.
Yeah, verbally. Okay. I was just like, couldn't really, like, I'm telling you, like, the thing that threw me off, trying to remember whose story was whose, because I'm so used to the man situation and the female situation, and there might be other men in there with them, but it's usually like separate still. But this one, I was like, wait a minute, Remy.
Yeah. See, I listened to it, and I guess for me, it was a little confused because like I said, they both were like whiny a little bit. It wasn't one that was distinctive to where, like, even the voice was a little more masculine or something like that. It wasn't like that, so they all sounded the same. All of them. Like, because I was like, I started reading it. I think I got to chapter like 8, and that's when you mentioned that it was on script. And I was like, well, let me go listen to it. And I was like, like I already was like, I'm just gonna listen to it because I feel like it's easier, faster to listen sometimes. But I was like, ooh, okay. Who said what and when did they say it? Yeah.
Okay, let's see. What was my last question? Did Iman get what he deserved in the end?
No.
What did he?
No.
He was the one. So like after he made that whole video of him, like blasting him, saying that he was abused and all that kind of stuff, the 911 dispatcher released the recording of him being like an abuser. So like he lost all his followers. I think he lost, and his whole thing is he wants to be an influencer. So I think that's his job, right?
And then he relocate. And
he had to relocate and all this crazy stuff. I feel like a lot of the books that I read, I never get the justice I want for the villain of the book. Like, although he is in the end, like they don't really like say all the crazy stuff, but in the end, he is in a worse spot than what he was. No, I don't want to see you burn. I just wanted to see, like, I wanted like more than that. Just it was like an afterthought, and I wanted to be more of like
it was like, okay, they released the recording, the end. He didn't get what he deserved. That was it.
I think releasing the recording would have been funny. And like, let's say like they had gone to like some kind of hockey event and Iman happened to be there because he was real big into hockey. So he happened to be there with his, like all his friends, all his coworkers who believed the story that he was spewing. And then on the Jumbotron, they released the videotape and he's embarrassed in front of everybody. The whole world sees it
right there. I would have gave it a more score.
I'm just like, just something that's more like, oh shit, that sucks.
It was just,
I
it was
want
Yeah,
to
because
see
it
the
was like it was
devastation.
secret. It was like it was a secret. Like, you
Yeah.
know, oh, this happened to him and he's
and
gone.
that's
And if
it.
you didn't follow Ema, you wouldn't have even known their story, to be honest. You know, like,
Correct.
yeah. Okay, so let's see, where do we go? Okay, so let's rate this book. I gave it a 3. I thought the plot was fine. Yeah, overall, I gave it a 3. The plot was fine. It didn't give me anything like too like, oh, that's amazing. But it was interesting enough for me to not be like, oh, I have to read this book. Like, oh. And the sex scenes didn't bother me. Like I said, I read a lot of that anyway. They weren't actually unique sex scenes. I would have liked a little bit of something different. Like, you got a couple more holes we could have worked with, you know? But anyway.
What's the other holes?
I mean, they didn't.
He got the 2.
He got 2.
Right.
They each got 2, but I feel like they focused more. Like, I feel like there's like when I read the MMFMs, it's usually like the blowjobs are just so fantastic, and like maybe they were in this book, but you know, like men are supposed to give like amazing blowjobs because they have like this very good
There's
suction.
too many that I know of.
I don't know. Damon, not straight, man.
That's a new hole. Well, what holes?
She wanted him to like somersault him.
I wanted
you know, be on
something.
top of his head.
Something. I don't know. But I guess, you know, you can only do so much. But I mean, even at this point, like, I don't know, man. I don't even know where it could have gone. But I'm, you know me, I'm already like, my palette of sex scenes is like so far out there. This was just
this wasn't that book.
It wasn't that book. But it was a cute book. It was sweet. I'm glad they got their HEA. But I gave it a 3. Like, I probably won't read another book by her, but I wouldn't be like, oh, I can't read that book by her. Like, I wouldn't actively go out and search for her book, but I wouldn't be like, oh, I can't read this author ever again. It was fine.
Yeah.
What y'all got?
Give it a 3.
Did I sum it up for the most part?
Yeah.
What you give it?
I gave it a 3. I gave it a 3. I gave it a 3 because the overall book wasn't bad. I wouldn't like you said, I wouldn't go buy it. I wouldn't recommend anybody to read it, but it wasn't trash, you know.
It wasn't Oscar worthy.
Yeah, and as far as like sex scenes for me, no, it didn't do it for me. But that ain't my kind of. That ain't what I'm looking for. So it didn't do nothing for me. They could have. I think I would have rated it higher if the sex scene wasn't in there at all. Yeah, I ain't because it didn't do nothing for me. I was like, what are y'all talking about? What? What? Why he did that?
Trina, what'd you give it?
I gave that shit a 1. You know, I did. I gave that shit a 1 because, you know, that was my first book. I was like, what the hell I got myself into? You know.
I'm glad
you're fired.
You're fired. This is like strike 2 for you.
No, I think it's like 5, 10.
I gave it a 1 because I know it was a short read, but it was just too much bickering. And I hear that enough at work. So I'm like, and then the sex scenes just did it. I was done.
I'm done.
Yeah. It was so much. Oh my goodness, I like him. He don't like me.
Lonnie, what'd you give the book?
I didn't
know you in the chat right now.
Oh, that's her.
That's her in the chat. Yeah. Okay. All right, Layla. I'm sorry, I can't even get the name right. Layla, what did you give the book? Because she gave it a 3. Okay.
She gave it a 3.
All right. So overall,
clenching of the pearl, sex,
3.
and everything.
Yeah.
Layla, can I take you down from right here since it's just a black screen?
Just take her down. Yeah. Let's go a 4-way. There we go.
4-way.
I'm dead.
I'm trying to see what's going on tonight. No, I'm not.
I'm dead.
Okay. She got that hair done. She out here.
Right.
I did.
Got the yitties out.
Oh,
everything. Yeah.
Nah, don't try to pull it up now.
Yeah, it's too late. They done synced it for 34 minutes.
Whatever. Okay, so we spinning this wheel. So wait, before we spin the wheel, let's figure the wheel out. Who's left on this wheel?
Not me. I'm good.
Trina, you good. We don't want your next book anyway.
Just me and you. Just me
and you.
Oh, baby.
What book did you pick, Shannon?
You said what?
What book was your pick?
She said y'all the ones that's left.
Oh, what pick did you pick, Rayn?
I picked
the last one, the darkest baby.
The darkest child. The darkest
child.
Okay.
I would say I picked the black kid.
The darkest baby. Rosalind kid.
Oh gosh. I picked the black kid.
It's not the Dust Bowl.
Not the Dust Bowl. Not the
Dust kid.
The little Dust kid.
I didn't pick Dusty. Y'all, somebody else picked it, but
that was Leila that picked Dusty.
Oh, it was her that picked Dusty.
I picked them black kids though.
All right, let's pick this wheel. Let's go. Go. Let me pull up my list real quick.
Shit. I'm gonna have to go get my list right.
Oh, Shannon.
Let's spin. It's your turn. You gonna be on there. It's gonna be your pick.
That's cool. Let's see what my stuff is.
Leila says she back.
Girl, you late. Shit. Where you been at?
Pull her in.
She ready to come in.
She got the new hookup.
She want to be she want to pick a book. She want to be on the wheel.
Oh,
she ain't on the wheel.
Okay. So it's me and Shannon.
It's gonna be.
Oh, let's gotta catch them all. What's the thing?
Pokemon.
Pokemon.
I can't play with you.
Did you do 9 seconds again, Shannon?
What'd I tell you?
It should have popped up. Pikachu.
I told
All right,
you.
now the genres we have left are dark romance, interracial, thriller, fantasy, paranormal. No, because that was
no, it's not.
It's the memoirs, urban romance, or urban fiction.
Oh man,
interracial and dark romance.
We read urban romance.
Because contemporary romance. What was contemporary romance? We don't have contemporary romance on there. We only have contemporary fiction now.
Hold on, urban was that on this wheel where the everybody got pregnant?
Yeah.
Was that this?
Yep, that was it.
But that was the darkest child.
That was Trina. No, that was not no darkest child.
What was darkest child?
Historical fiction.
Historical fiction.
But we don't have historical fiction anymore. We have contemporary fiction. That was not one of the lists. That was not the pick. When we did the genres, we took historical fiction off.
Huh?
Yes, it was.
It was historical fiction. That's why. Yeah, that was darkest child.
It was the darkest child.
Well, if we get contemporary fiction, I ain't got shit for that.
Then just say it.
Well, it's just contemporary fiction is fiction. Just right.
I'm gonna go just
regular. It's just regular.
I got a ton of fiction. Don't worry, we'll find something. Let's do this wheel. Why should be contemporary fiction too? Let me go to my list.
We just have urban romance.
Okay.
But it must have been a different wheel because Trina, you picked that about them. But you picked that about the
pregnant people.
Yeah. So I'm saying it must be a different wheel. It had to be a different one. Okay. Because you just picked this, so I don't know what we got.
Please don't be memoirs. Please don't be.
We just need to
contemporary.
Okay, let me go to. This sucks.
I think we need to just pull.
We need to figure out the
little pieces of paper out of a box.
That's what I said, but nobody wanted to listen.
Because we be chirping about this wheel.
The wheel is off. It's all off.
It could just be the wheel for the whoever picked, and then you pick out of a jar of whatever is on your TBR.
I'm with it because I told you I got this TBR.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I said originally. Oh, she gone again.
Bye, Leila.
Just pick a fiction, girl.
Yeah.
I mean, like,
You
But
need
my
me to get you
fictions
something off my
are
TBR?
all like I feel like every book I have is in a different genre too. Because like I have a fiction, but it's a dark romance, and then I have a fiction, but then it's fantasy.
Well, don't pick fantasy because just pick.
Yeah,
Just pick from there.
just pick. You ain't got no regular fictions on your book. I mean, on
I
your
got a
list.
lot of dark romance, and I got a lot of Omegaverse.
We gonna need for you to
A
watch
lot of what?
Omegaverse.
What is
Omegaverse,
that?
It's the one with the whole alphas, betas, and omegas.
werewolves, and
No, this one's don't have shifters. I'm just in the Omegaverse, the category.
She said, "Please, no fantasy."
Yeah, I'm gonna say the fantasy. I want to do Rayn's fantasy. Golly.
That's the name of the book, or you talking about me?
No, yours. Like I know you have a good fantasy pick in there.
But that's not you. It's not fantasy. It's the genre, the fiction.
No. Wait, what?
Oh, we done lost Rayn too.
Oh, everybody's leaving. I'm sorry.
I'm right here.
You didn't switch.
How'd that happen?
So,
Hoppo Boogie Woman.
Hoppo. I might have to get back to y'all in the chat, and we might have to put it because
my god,
that was literally the only genre I didn't have because I thought for some reason we took away historical fiction and added contemporary.
Okay, when just do a dark romance next week. Get your TBR jars ready, okay? Put all your picks in the TBR jar.
Dark romance.
And we are coming from the TBR jar, okay?
Okay, let me go back to my list of dark romance.
Just pick a book.
Okay, I want to do The Man Upstairs by Jade West.
Okay.
Because that's my dark romance.
Man Upstairs.
I don't know what the book's about. I just like
y'all
Jade
job this week is to create you a little pretty TBR jar.
Okay.
Put all your TBR picks in your jar.
So it doesn't matter what genre. We're not doing the wheel no more.
We're not doing the wheel no more. It's just off of your TBR so we can get everybody's TBRs down.
Okay.
Well, I already got my jar.
Yes.
Well, I'm gonna get a jar too, Rayn.
Okay.
We're
gonna show everybody. We're gonna do a jar reveal and everything, so you can have content and it can be a whole thing and everything.
Yep. Don't let me get fancy with my jar.
Get fancy, girl.
Lord, now I'm gonna have to go to damn Michael's and find a damn stuff.
No, girl, forget that. You better go to the $1.25 tree.
And
that's a $1.25 tree.
It is a $1.25.
Also, just disclaimer: I hope everyone is being safe on the East Coast in this hurricane. Everyone stay safe. Get charged up because it's coming. It's coming.
Y'all see that TikToker talking about he gonna be outside in a box hood?
He gonna be on the news one way or the other.
He ain't gonna be. He gonna be dead. That we gonna be.
One way or the other, he gonna be on the news. I'm about to get all the people coming in from Myrtle Beach. They're about to start flooding this way because they're about to evacuate. It's every year it happens.
Every year. I don't even know how people stay there. But yeah, pray for
fun
them.
times, guys.
Pray for them. But y'all heard it here. The Man Upstairs by Jade West. We will see y'all next Wednesday. We'll be doing a TBR jar reveal. So it's a whole threw away with the wheel, only to pick people's names, and that's it.
Sounds good.
All right.
All right.
Y'all have a great rest of y'all.
Bye.
Wednesday. Have a great weekend.